What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Hope you all had a great 4th of July yesterday. Getting into this episode of GH, I love Trina. I really do. I love Trina. I feel like she's one of those friends that you need to have. You know what I mean? I wish that Cameron would have picked Trina from the beginning instead of asking Jocelyn. I understand why he asked Jocelyn, but I wish that he would have just asked Trina from the beginning, because Trina's ride or die. I like her. You know, I love the way she just stepped up and basically told Cameron, I'll come to the wedding reception with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he wouldn't have to go it alone, because she knows it's a big step for him. You know, it's hard for him to accept Franco as a stepfather / father figure. And, you know, he really needed a friend to be there for him. And it sucks that Jocelyn couldn't be that friend. You know, everybody has been there for Jocelyn. They've been rallying around her since Oscar was first diagnosed, even up until he died, and even after he died. They're still there for him. So I felt like Jocelyn should have stepped up for, Cameron. You know, she was basically making it seem like, oh, if it's not that important for me to be there, then I'm not going to go. You know, because she was basically asking Cameron, like, is it really important for her to be there for him? It doesn't matter if it's important or not. He's a friend who needs you, he needs your support, and he needs you to be his wing person for that night. You know, it doesn't matter if it's important or not. The fact is, he needed you, and you didn't want to step up to the plate and be there. I understand she's grieving for Oscar, but at the end of the day, Jocelyn needs to learn that you can't keep wallowing in grief and self-pity. You can't keep doing that. You have to move on with your life. You have to start going to social events again. You have to start hanging with your friends again outside of the Corinthos house. You know, you have to live again. You know what I mean? Like, I understand she's grieving and there's no timeline on grief, but you can't wallow in it. You can't. You can't live life like that. You have to keep going. That's what Oscar would have wanted for her to do, and that's what she needs to do. And that's why I love that Dev is there, because as much as Dev gets on her nerves, he's right. And I love that he's not coddling her. Everybody around Jocelyn is babying her. They're coddling. Dev is the one person that's not doing that. You know what I mean? He's giving her harsh reality every day. You know what I mean? And I love that he's getting on her nerves, because it's pushing her more and more to get out this funk that she's in. You know what I mean? And get out of this pity that she's in, this grief that she's in. It's helping her. Slowly but surely, it's going to help her, because that's what she needs right now. She has to stop being like this, all caged up in that house and not wanting to really go anywhere and do anything and just wallow. You know what I mean? I like that Dev is pushing her buttons, because she needs a good kick in the ass right about now. Everybody else is, being all gentle with her, and yeah, it's cool to do that for the first maybe few weeks, maybe to a month, but it's been ample time now. It's time for her to, start slowly but surely getting back out there. Start doing things that she used to do. You know what I mean? Like, I agree with Trina. Like, she feels like Jocelyn is, not trying to move on because she feels like she's going to forget Oscar. You're never going to forget Oscar. You're never going to forget him. You know what I mean? That's something that you just don't forget. You never forget the one true love that you had. You know what I mean? In the beginning, you don't forget that. She never will. But she can't stop living either. That you cannot do. And it was kind of funny, because it's like any little thing Dev does pushes Jocelyn's buttons. It pisses her off. Like, the mere fact that he went into the freezer and got some ice cream and stuff pissed her off. I'm like, is he not supposed to eat? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Sonny and Carly wouldn't care. She keep talking about, oh, this is not your house. Oh, calm down, Jocelyn. Technically, it's not your house either. So calm down. If the boy wants some ice cream, he can get some ice cream. Relax. Their scenes to me are just hilarious. Like, I love the banter, the back and forth. He's really just pushing her buttons, and I like it. She needs it right now. So anyway, moving on from that, I knew Christina's pledge was bogus. I knew it, because I remember that storyline with Alexis hitting Kiefer like it was yesterday. Christina was unconscious when Alexis was bringing her to the hospital. There's no way she could have known if Alexis hit that boy on purpose or not. And why bring it up all these years later? You know what I mean? I knew her pledge had to be bogus. And even if even if Alexis did hit that boy on purpose, it's a moot point because she was already tried for that crime. She already received her punishment for that, which was probation, suspended sentence, whatever, community service. She already got all of that. So they're not going to revisit that. You know what I mean? So it's a non-factor at this point. And I've been known that. It's a moot point. But I am glad that Christina still had the wherewithal, even though she was deeply devoted to Shiloh at the time. I love that she had the smarts to lie about a pledge, fake something. Even though Alexis was a little pissed that Christina chose her instead of Sonny. But the thing is, though, she didn't know anything about Sonny. She didn't know nothing about a crime Sonny committed. She knew nothing. Well, it is that whole bombing situation back in 2010. Remember when Sonny had that guy plant the bomb in Johnny Zakara's car that could have killed Christina? She did have that information she could have used, but she probably forgot about it, but she could have used that if she wanted to. But I am glad that she used something that was completely useless to Shiloh. Which, it's so funny because every time Shiloh sees Alexis, he thought that he had one up on her. Like he had some top information that could just destroy her. And he was always so smug about it. Even in the courtroom when he saw her, he was smug about the pledge and stuff, talking about, oh, it's up here. Most of the pledges that people gave him are useless. And it wouldn't hold up in court anyway because judges and DAs can't convict on what's up here. They can't do that. They need physical proof, something, which he has none of. So all those pledges that he have are bogus. They're of no use to him. And he knows that. He just uses it to try to get into people's head and think that he's psyching them out. But nobody's afraid of him at this point. A lot of the members who used to be members are no longer afraid about that pledge because now that they're destroyed. And a lot of those pledges were bogus anyway. Shiloh has nothing. Even now, he still thinks that he has Port Charles by the balls right now. You really don't. You really don't. Really don't. Everything's going to blow up in his face. And he keeps talking about that DNA and whatever. I'm like, you might have that DNA, but it's inadmissible in court because how you obtained that DNA. You know what I mean? And his attorney kept trying to tell him that. But of course, he's arrogant and cocky and don't want to listen. His days are numbered. What he doesn't even know is people are working behind the scenes right now to destroy him. You got Sam in Beecher's Corners pretending to be a nurse. I mean, not a nurse. Pretending to be a waitress at the diner. And she's even recording the conversation. She's video recording the conversation she's having with Carol. And she's going to bring Carol back to Port Charles to testify against Shiloh. Jason is at Pettonville speaking with Harmony, who finally decided to stop being Shiloh's puppet and give Jason the information that he needs to send Shiloh to prison potentially. Because she knows that Shiloh could have had something to do with the death of her husband. Because the night of the initiation, he knew Willow was supposed to meet with her father that night. So he chose that night to do the initiation. And he had a 3-hour window to disappear from the DOD house without anybody knowing about it. And he had access to the drug that her father OD'd off of. Because he had a prescription which was in his real name. So Jason has all of this information. Now they got him. They got something to work with now. You know what I mean? They're putting all the pieces together now. It's about time. So, and plus, it's going to be a real gotcha moment when Shiloh does the DNA test and finds out that Wiley really isn't even biologically his. That's going to be the real aha moment. And I can't wait. It was kind of funny how Sonny walked up to Shiloh's lawyer and basically told her that he would pay her double what Shiloh is paying for her not to represent Shiloh. Because he had to flash them dimples at her. And she, she was contemplating it at first. Because you got a lot of people basically telling her how much they despise Shiloh. And she even told Shiloh, if Christina testifies against him at the custody hearing, plus Sam's testimony, plus Willow's testimony, it could all work against him. Because their testimony will be compelling. It could work against him in family court. The DNA alone is going to work against him, because he's going to find out that the DNA doesn't match. I loved how Christina had the strength to just go up to Shiloh and just unload on him. Michael was thinking about getting involved. Even Sonny was trying to stop her at first, but Sonny even told Michael. No, Brick told Michael too. Let her do it. They just love watching her in action. Brick was getting, entertained by the whole thing. I was entertained by it too, because it's about time people are standing up to Shiloh and letting them know, like, you don't have the power no more. You used to, you don't now. I loved it. It was kind of funny how Michael had came up to Sonny and Brick, and he was like, so since when is Dev your cousin? Because, Sonny got to basically bring the family up to speed on Dev being a so-called relative. I could understand why Michael and, why Michael wouldn't trust Dev and stuff like that. But if it wasn't for Dev, Dante and Sonny more than likely wouldn't have made it back from Turkey. So I don't blame Sonny for wanting to help the kid. And Sonny, it was funny because Brick was asking Sonny, does he plan on putting Dev to work? Sonny said, hell no. He plans on paying for him to get an education. And I knew it. When I said that Sonny sees potential in Dev, Sonny admitted it. He was like, he does see potential in Dev. I could definitely see Sonny being intrigued by Dev and, maybe one day allowing Dev to work in his organization. Most definitely. Because Dev, he is kind of a smooth talker and a smooth criminal. He could pick your pocket without you knowing it. So with some little, advice from Sonny and Jason and a little grooming, he could definitely be the next kingpin. Definitely. I wouldn't be mad about it, to be honest. But Brick is basically going to handle all the paperwork and stuff like that to make it look like Dev really is Gladys's grandson. And make him really seem like he's a relative of the Corinthoses. Because Michael was worried about Dev being, nervous under pressure from the government and stuff like that. But Sonny, he wasn't worried about it because he know Dev can handle himself. He knows that. It's good to see them helping that kid, because obviously he doesn't really have no family that really probably care about him. So it's good that he got some people that actually give a damn, instead of being out on the street with nothing and nobody. And you got to, do what you have to do to survive out there because it's rough. I swear, in another life, Jason should have been an attorney. The way that he was writing that information down in that notebook and talking to Harmony and stuff like that, he definitely should have been a lawyer in another life. But it's about time Harmony stepped up. You know what I mean? It's about time, because she needs to realize Shiloh don't give a damn about you. He don't give a damn about DOD. He created all of that just so he can have people be loyal to him, and he use y'all. That's all he does. He just uses people. He doesn't care about y'all. You're just a means to an end. That's all they are. A number. That's it. Alexis better be happy that Neil decided to take her back as a patient, because she was way out of line, asking him about his personal life and stuff like that. And he warned her countless times, mind your business, stay out my personal life, and she just couldn't let it go. But I'm glad that she owned up to her part, even though Diane took it upon herself to research this guy, but it was Alexis who made the decision to read that file or read that online, situation about his daughter. And at the end of the day, she didn't have to bring that up to him. You know what I mean? Like, you could have just kept that information to yourself, because he done warned you numerous times that his private life is not up for discussion, like, at all. But of course she didn't want to listen, so she better thank her lucky stars he chose to take her back as a patient, because any other therapist definitely would have just kept it moving and not brought you back. But I could definitely see the chemistry between them, though. You can't tell me that he don't like her just a little bit. I think he does, honestly. So anyway, that's pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about today's episode. I will see y'all all later. Hope you have a great weekend. See you on Monday. Peace.